We're back with UK trip recap. This is the Ireland edition. So we landed in Dublin. First stop in Dublin was the Queen of Tarts, quite delicious there. But we had a nice Airbnb right in the heart of Dublin on the River Liffey in the Temple Bar area. Pretty much as close as you can get to the city. City Hall was actually right down the road from our Airbnb. We first went to Dublin Castle. I think that was on the second day. It might have been on the first day we got in, but we had a nice tour. We walked around the grounds for a little bit. A self-guided tour, I suppose. We didn't really know. We just read signs. It wasn't much of a tour. There's various busts, and it's a pretty looking castle. It's actually quite colourful. The gardens are quite nice as gardens go. But then we did have a full walking tour underneath the castle itself, old walls, and tour guide was kind of cute. Apparently, I like Irish tour guides. But it's a very nice castle. There's that tower. It's been so long, I can't really remember. But there's also the cathedral entrance here. I think it was a cathedral church kind of area, which had like crests for hundreds of Irish families, which was quite nice. It was a very beautiful place in there, and it looks like stone, all wood. It's all wood in that little cathedral, big cathedral. But then there's a full tour of the inside of the castle as well. Various staterooms and banquet halls and things like that. Stopped at the Ivy for a spot of lunch. Those were lamb sliders and then steak cut fries, quite delicious. And then Christchurch Cathedral. Again, a lot of historic stuff in Dublin, so that's kind of filled the day up. That was pretty much the first day of Ireland. Second day started off with a walk and then a bus ride to Belfast. So technically back in the UK. Right down to City Hall, we had about an hour to walk around the city centre, do a little bit of shopping, that kind of stuff. Also in Belfast, they obviously have the Titanic Memorial. Quite a beautiful thing to see, I guess. And then there's the plaque with the names of everybody who died on the Titanic. And there are obviously a lot of names, and to see it in front of you is quite a thing. But our main focus in Belfast and Northern Ireland was a tour of Game of Thrones. You saw there the King's Road, obviously a big part of Game of Thrones. That was a filming location there. There is also Dunluce Castle we stopped on the way in Northern Ireland. Apparently the kitchen fell into the sea in Dunluce Castle. We had quite a nice story about that. I don't know how true it is, but it's one of the things we saw. Place I've always wanted to go, finally got to visit on this tour, is the Giant's Causeway. Quite a bit of a walk to get down there. We took a bus ride, but the bus obviously has to stop in the parking lot. There is like a shuttle bus which goes up and down the road itself, but we walked down and got the bus back up. Beautiful place. Absolutely loved it. Like I said, it's a place I've always wanted to go, so very glad to finally have done that. The whole tour, the Game of Thrones tour, was a guided tour. It was run by Finn McCool's Tours. Again, very attractive tour guide. Apparently I have an Irish tour guide fetish. I can't explain it. It's one of those things. I'm trying to find a subreddit. But we had a tour of the coast, driving along, all that kind of stuff. A lot of the places we saw were like Iron Island filming locations. There's the Larry Bain Quarry as well, where they filmed, I believe, a gladiator scene. But this was where they filmed the Iron Island harbour scene where Theon returns to the Iron Islands. Game of Thrones spoilers, by the way. In Ballantoy, I think it's called. It's a little harbour there. We also stopped at the Cushendon Caves, where we met this guy. The caves is actually somebody's driveway. You have your driveway goes through these caves, like, that's kind of cool. in a way. Funny story I will mention while we close out this video. Our tour guide, we were playing with the goat, obviously it's a goat, like we're gonna stroke the goat, you know, as you do. Our tour guide shot off like a bat out of hell, couldn't see her at all, she carried on to the caves. We followed eventually after messing around with the goat for a while, and I think I ended up leading the group of people to where she went, because I saw her go off around the corner, and I thought they went along, or she went along the beach, because, you know, that's a public pathway in this area. This is not a nice beach, it's seaweeds and rock and horribleness that I guided this tour group over this beach. And eventually we find the tour guide standing up on this pathway, and there is I think it was past like a little bit of a hotel, but there's a bit of like a driveway and a footpath which goes above the beach, which we were meant to follow. Yeah, anyway, I guided the tour group across the stupid beach. I don't know if the tour guide remembers this or even will see this video, but I'll see if I can send it to them. Maybe they'll put a comment down if they remember. But as far as I know, we were the first and only tour group to be idiots in that way, and I will take the blame for it. Anyway, next in the videos of the UK trip will be Cardiff, a brief stop in Cardiff, then London, and then that'll be it for the UK trip. Finally, after 6 months, I'm getting out there. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next video.